I'm David Lee Brush, PAL Team Leader with MOEP, and I wanted to give you a quick update about the busy week Missouri elected leaders and MOEP had in our capital. The Elementary and Secondary Education Committee met this week to hear three bills, and I attended for the first hour in person. After some technical difficulties, which taught me that legislators act just like students in that situation, the committee heard two bills we were watching. I was able to hear the introduction and some testimony for House Bill 31 by Representative Davidson, and based on what I heard, I switched that bill from watch status to oppose. He expanded the bill to include FPE, family paced education, which last year's 727 carved out for homeschoolers who wanted to use ESA vouchers as opposed to homeschoolers who did not. Since FPEs can get 727 funding, we believe that there should be accountability. Once again, traditional homeschooling families joined us in opposition on that part of the bill. That bill also sets a standard for probable cause before a prosecuting attorney is able to examine homeschool records. I left that hearing a little early to meet with Representative Terry about our position on open enrollment, so I missed the end of the bill. We submitted written testimony though, and I also missed Representative Lewis's introduction and discussion on House Bill 1287, which was on our call to action last week, a Parents' Bill of Rights with teachers added. We submitted written testimony on the grounds that diminishment of local control and lack, and it's a lack, there is no need to codify what really can't be legislated, which is respect and trust. The Senate Education Committee voted out Senate substitute for SB 19553, the tax credit bills by Bratton and Schroer. Bratton's bill will be the one that carries it for educational expenses for folks already eligible for ESAs. They did take out the double dipping portion of that, so you can get one or the other, but not both. Senator Bratton's SJR 6, which is a Parent Bill of Rights divisive concept bill to put it on the ballot to be in the Missouri Constitution, and SB 12, Fitzwater's bathroom bill discriminating against transgender students. All of those were voted out of the Senate Education Committee. Most of the action on the chamber floor was on the chamber floor this week. In the Senate on Thursday, the 27th, they voted out SB 10, the large bill containing provisions that would make the gender affirming care ban and the trans athlete ban permanent. The debate speaking in favor of that bill this morning highlighted just how dedicated the Missouri GOP is to hurting the transgender community. The official vote isn't available, but it was 22-12 with all the Democrats voting against it. Senate Bill 68, the cell phone ban safety bill from Senator Henderson, also crossed over to the House. The ESL provisions were not included, but there is the companion bill in the House, and they have the provisions in there. So there's still hope. Small victories, tiny joys. And in the vein of victory and joy, the House also voted bills providing assistance to get hearing devices and child care tax credits to the Senate. Unfortunately, the House also voted out along party lines House Bill 875, Chapel's bill allowing discrimination on college campuses. All the House bills that have been voted over got a first read in the Senate. The Senate companion bill to House Bill 75, which is Senate Bill 160, these bills prohibit any causes of action or discipline on campuses when they discriminate in leadership on college campuses, has actually received a substitute that has stripped the bill pretty much of any teeth. During the debate, the filibuster on that bill yesterday, Senator Weber pointed out that in the lengthy debate that people had, there were 6 people on the floor, and during most of that debate, the sponsor, Senator Weber, another senator whose name I missed, and the three Black women senators in the chain in that are elected. He wanted to acknowledge that Black women are again carrying the water and doing the work. The anti-DEI bill Baker's anti-DEI bill was assigned to the Senate Government Efficiency Committee chaired by Senator Mary Elizabeth Coleman. There isn't a hearing scheduled as of this update. The chaplaincy bills are poised for committee assignment in the House, and 711 open enrollment is the big old shoe hanging over us, and it's ready. It's gone through the last hurdle assigned to the calendar for debate. Several organizations had a very packed lobby day on Wednesday, and we had put links to some signups in last week's update. I tried to attend, but in between a traffic stoppage on 50 and 45 minutes looking for parking, I just missed orientation. So I wandered around the Capitol. I attended the disability advocacy groups were out in force. I caught the tail end of their really cool rally. I connected with a couple of representatives, and but I didn't connect on the office visit with Representative Terry. And I did get to talk to Representative Senator Nuremberg about the ELL amendment. What's coming up next week? The Elementary and Secondary Education Committee in the House hasn't posted yet, so we don't know. And the Senate Education Committee will hear two bills with dealing with library materials and that the sponsors deem pornographic or explicit. Senator Coleman's bill adds digital libraries and charter schools to existing statute and a mechanism so parents can sue districts. And Senator Schwartz's bill strips funding from any district that employs someone who gives explicit material to a minor and expands the definition to also approves any material, which means committees and boards could be liable. As I said before, open enrollment is the shoe that is waiting to drop on us next week, and we could see action on other bills that have crossed over, like anti-DEI, chaplaincy, and Senate Bill 10 with the sunset removals. Check out the House and Senate websites for more information or reach out to us with questions at dlb@missouriequity.com. Rest, focus, hydrate. We need all of you. Hoosiers is my favorite sports movie and my top 3 movies ever, and I have internalized lessons from it, and this one seemed appropriate to me this week. Don't get caught watching the paint dry. Do something. Keep up the hard work. And that's all I have.